This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and zero cooking. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite food delivered straight to you. Get Burger King, Subway, Popeyes, and hundreds more local favorites and savor every last bite. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to help you make the most of your summer with Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer worth playing for. Play for it with the guys when you're competing to see who can sink more birdies on the golf course, because winning tastes even better with Ultra on the line. Play for Ultra. Fill your fridge with Michelob Ultra this summer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
With the Walmart app, you can squeeze in those final days of summer and nail that back-to-school shopping list. So keep working on that tan and let Walmart Express Delivery handle the rest. Chromebooks, Clorox wipes, Sharpies, glue sticks, pens, pencils, and more. All delivered in as fast as an hour. So pour yourself another iced tea. Summer's not over. Last-minute back-to-school supplies delivered fast. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new. Subject to availability. Fees and restrictions apply.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Hello, and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Austin, also known as Teacup.
And my name is Shelby, also known as She-Cup.
Join us as we embark on unraveling all of your favorite mysteries from the Assassin's Creed universe. From assassins to Templars to the mysterious Isu and more. We will seek to uncover it all, so join us and maybe even take a leap of faith.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Shelby or She-Cup, and I'm super excited to be here today. And I'm joined here with my co-host.
So I'm Austin or Teacup, and I'm excited to be here.
So we finished our Pieces of Eden series last week. We are not yet going into Isu. So what are we talking about today?
So today we are talking about a character deep dive. And since last character deep dive, we dealt with a historical character, I thought we could jump into a modern day character for this character deep dive. So we are talking about one of the first characters we ever meet in the entire game series, Lucy Stillman.
All right. Also voiced by Kristen Bell.
Yeah. And she kind of even looks like her.
A little bit. It's a little odd.
So yeah, just a warning. These are going to be heavy spoilers for Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed, the first Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelation, and maybe a little bit of Assassin's Creed 3. All right, so you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. So Lucy is a born and bred assassin. She was born into the assassin order and received her training from William Miles. So I think this is a thing that we don't really see in the early games, especially. Do you have a question?
Yeah. Can you be born into the order? Like she was born as an assassin, or like her parents were assassins and she like went through the training as a young kid?
Technically, so if you remember, maybe from our not Clay Kazmarek episode, one of our episodes, we talked about there were a bunch of people that were raised assassin offspring children that were raised on a place called the Farm. So Lucy, Daniel Cross, Desmond, all kind of raised there as children of assassins. And so this is something we really see in modern day of the assassins having kind of these legacies of families that are automatically a part of the order. And that's part of kind of where we meet Desmond, is he's running away from that. He's like, this isn't a life I chose. And there's a conversation he talks about with Sean Hastings about that kind of thing, about like, I envy you in a lot of ways because this is something that you chose to be, whereas I had it forced upon me. It's like I'm choosing to be here now, and I know this is the right thing, but I kind of envy that you got to make the choice and come to that realization all on your own. And so there are these assassins that are kind of, like we call them like cradle Christians, just born, raised, or from outside the womb Christians. And similar thing here going on with the assassins, and Lucy is one of them. So at 17, her ties to the Brotherhood were cut in order for her to infiltrate Abstergo Industries. So before that, she had to like assume a regular life because, she's not like society. She's grown up on this farm with the assassin order. So she needs to go and be in the real world so she can realistically join Abstergo Industries. So she attends university to study cognitive neuroscience. However, her theories eventually lead to her being called a pseudoscientist and force her to leave universities and pursue work elsewhere. She's eventually contacted by none other than Warren Vidic, who would offer her a position at Abstergo Industries in the Animus Project. Lucy was cordial with several Abstergo employees. However, these would be the employees that would attempt to kill her. She is saved by Warren Vidic. So that's kind of before she's really like established in the Abstergo. That's really all we know about her life before that. So the next big thing on Lucy's world is the Subject 16, which we know and we've talked about is Clay Kazmarek from that episode. So by 2011, William Miles had become mentor of the Brotherhood and ordered Clay Kazmarek to infiltrate the Animus Project as Subject 16. Lucy was meant to be Clay's handler in order to help them both escape after Clay had retrieved the necessary information. However, unbeknownst to the assassins, Lucy's loyalties had already shifted. Years of isolation coupled with William Miles's withdrawn and careless personality had driven her away from the assassins into Templar's arms. Warren Vidic offered Lucy guidance and protection, and she willingly became a double agent for him. And so with Clay as their research subject, Lucy and Warren would discover that Ezio had come into contact with the Apple and the Vault and would use Clay to relive his memories. However, during this process, they left Clay in the Animus for days at a time, and he started to deteriorate quickly due to the bleeding effect, which we talked about in our Clay episode. And so they would then discover that Desmond Miles, the son of William Miles, was also a descendant of Ezio and could be a replacement for Clay. And so Lucy and Warren started to plan how they would manipulate Desmond and all of this. Clay would discover all of these plans and realize that their plan was, if Desmond started to show the bleeding effect, Lucy would help Desmond escape and use that to get back with the assassins and report to Vidic on assassin activities. And though Lucy knew Clay had discovered her treachery, she still protected him from being killed or turned over to the Templars, but she did not ever let him escape and return to the assassins. And as we know from our Clay episode, he would eventually take his own life during the Subject 16 process.
The Subject 16 stuff just makes me really sad.
It is very sad.
So I guess my question is, at what point does Lucy become the double agent? Like in the modern timeline, at what point does this happen?
I think that it is around the time that Warren saves her life. And I think it's mainly because we have to think about this from her perspective. Why William Miles ever thought it was a good idea to send a assassin who has never interacted with the outside world, who has only ever known the Assassin Brotherhood, into an undercover situation. Why he thought that was a good idea is beyond me. And then to just abandon her, make her feel abandoned because she's undercover. And like, that's part of being undercover, is you have to take on the sense like that your organization isn't going to be there for you if you get into trouble.
Yeah. I feel like William Miles doesn't make good decisions.
He does not, at least from what we've seen. And so, you know, I get it. Like, Warren saves her life, and I think at that point when when she has that moment of, this is the Templar who I'm supposed to think is evil and terrible and is no good for anyone, saved my life. I think in that moment, Lucy's very young. She can't be more than 24 at this point. And at that point, like, I feel like she'd just spill her guts to Warren and tell him everything. And he would see this as an opportunity to manipulate and turn her.
And so at this point, this is before any of the games, right?
Correct.
Okay, so your hypothesis, because I guess it's not confirmed exactly when this happens, your hypothesis is that she's working for the Templars the entire modern day storyline from Assassin's Creed 1 through whenever whatever.
Yes. And that's actually confirmed, that she is turned from the moment we meet her in the games.
So you said you guess. That's not a you guess. That's confirmed fact.
Well, you asked when I thought she turned. I think when she turns is when William saves her, or when Vidic saves her life. It could have been before that. It could have been sometime after that. That was my guess to when she turned. But it is confirmed that from the time of AC1, she is working for the Templars.
Okay, gotcha.
I think a good time for our break before we get into the rest of her story.
All right.
Today's top story: the flavor merger of the century between the Peanut Butter Group and Chocolatey Corp. Joining me is a PBC executive.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
Now, how did you know the merger and the byproduct of it, Jif peanut butter and chocolate flavored spread, would be a success?
You know, it was a gut feeling, a rumbling, if you will. Besides, they're two titans of taste.
Very true. Goes great with pretzels.
And pancakes.
Apples too, I bet. Try Jif PBC today.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
As a sports fan, I have to confess, sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot a flying demon!
Malaka! Malaka! Malaka!
Even now, faced as I am with the truth of your cold words, I refuse, because I believe things can still change. I may never succeed. The assassins may struggle another 1,000 years in vain, but we will not stop.
So, we don't have a review this week, but we still have a lot of things to talk about. So, Speaking of reviews, you can leave us a 5-star rating on Apple iTunes or Spotify. And if you leave us a review with words that is 5 stars, we will read it out on the show. That's a great way to get our show out there and make sure people are finding it and that it's known, especially if you love the show and we want to make sure it gets out there. Another way to support us is via our Patreon. We have launched a Patreon in the last couple of weeks. We have 2 patrons right now, and we read all of our new patrons out on the show. And at certain tiers, we'll even read your name out every week. And at other tiers, you can even come on the show with us for our patron chat. So definitely join the Patreon. You can get access to exclusive rewards that you're just not going to get elsewhere. And then the last thing that I want to plug is our Discord. We have a Discord server called The Cups Podcasting and More. The link is in the episode bio. And this is a place where we just have a lot of fun. We talk about all kinds of stuff, all kinds of games there. And it is also the home of all of our podcasts. So they get the first news, any kind of updates that might happen to any of our podcasts, they're going to hear it first. So make sure you join that server. You can also join the Robots Radio server, of which we are a part, and we have a channel over there as well. And you can find tons and tons and tons of awesome new podcasts to listen to. So the link to all of those things are in the episode description. I think that's all I have for the break, unless, Austin, you have something else you wanted to add.
No, I do not.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevy certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. And with our tire price match guarantee, you get the best fit for the best deal. Let us do the work. Available on select eligible tire brands at participating dealers only. Offer ends 12/31/2025. Terms apply. See dealer for complete details. Visit Chevrolet.com/service to learn more.
Did my card go through?
Oh no.
Your small business depends on its internet. So switch to Verizon Business. And you could get LTE business internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data for unlimited business.
There we go.
Get the internet you need at the price you want. Verizon Business. Starting price for LTE business internet, 25 megabits per second unlimited data plan with select Verizon Business smartphone plan savings. Terms apply.
And I know I was really nice to you, but actually I'm just another Templar plot twist. And yes, I would like very much for you to be controlled by a magic space wizard so that you can murder me.
Requiescat in pace. I am not a father anymore. I am not a husband. I am not a Magi. I am a hidden one.
Yes. We are the hidden ones.
All right. So the last bit is just gonna go real quickly, because I don't want to get too much into what happens in the games. I'm just going to briefly overview them, and then we're going to talk about a little bit kind of her personality and legacy. So eventually, Desmond does come to Abstergo as subject 17. Lucy immediately gains his trust by standing up for him against Vidic. And she also will answer his questions in between animaceptions, though vaguely she answers his questions about Abstergo. However, in one conversation, Lucy does defend Vidic, and this is where she tells Desmond about how Vidic saved her life and telling Desmond not to judge him too harshly and that he is just under a lot of pressure. And so I see this as the developers kind of like planting this seed that Lucy isn't 100% on board with the assassin method. And the rest of it is that when Desmond finishes with Altair, it is Lucy that convinces the Abstergo higher ups to keep him alive and not just discard him as trash. So that's really the events of AC1 that happened there. Then we move into what's called Project Siren, and that's the events of AC2 through AC Brotherhood. And so, as we know with Assassin's Creed 2, Lucy helps Desmond escape and takes him to the Assassin's Creed hideout, where they relive the memories of Ezio in Italy and his fight against the Borgia. And they train Desmond to be an assassin fully through the bleeding effect. And in that, we again see this theme of like Lucy having compassion for Desmond and like being the like heart of the team that keeps them on their task. And then we start getting this kind of romantic hints between Lucy and Desmond in Assassin's Creed 2, which is then compounded upon in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And there's just awkward flirting. If you all remember playing that opening scene of Brotherhood under the villa and just the awkward flirting and everything that's going on during that.
Yeah, I like just did that and it was cringe.
Yes.
Again, I don't believe them
But
as a couple. Like, I just don't believe them as a couple.
Well, yeah. So after Desmond finishes with Ezio in Rome with those memories, they find where Ezio hid his apple, which is under the Colosseum, and they go to this temple where Juno takes over Ezio's body and uses him to kill Lucy, revealing her as a double agent, as her goal was immediately when she gets her hands on an apple of Eden, that she would take it to Abstergo. And so Lucy then dies and she's buried somewhere in Italy. And because of what happens in the end, Sean Hastings is actually the only one from the team that actually attends her funeral. And so that's Lucy's story.
That's really sad that he's the only one that goes.
Well, part of it is that Rebecca has to stay with Desmond, who is in a coma.
Sure. It's still sad.
But this is the second time William Miles has been betrayed by a student of his.
Again, he kind of just makes bad decisions.
Yes. So a little bit just kind of like about Lucy's personality. Knowing the story, Lucy and Vidic kind of play this good cop, bad cop situation going on with them. Lucy is the good cop who like wants to settle things in peaceful ways, and Vidic is the bad cop who's just like, no, screw you, do whatever you want. However, behind the scenes, it appears that after Lucy leaves the Assassin Order, she becomes much more jaded and disheartened by the world. In a letter to Clay, she explained that William Miles was using them to fuel the war, while Abstergo cared about people and understood humanity's limitations. However, she does still show Clay compassion as she promised to protect him. But you see this, like, it's this theme that the Templars keep pushing on, is that the world is bad and we're the only ones who can take care of it. And it's that famous quote, from Haytham. It says, our creed doesn't require the indoctrination or words muddled to us by old men. It just requires for the world to be as it is.
Very true.
And this is like I think this is really like the trap of the Templars, is when you have an evil that can convince you that it's good, it's much more insidious than an evil that's stretched about and like, yeah, we're the bad guys. And so like this is the trap. The Templars convince you that they're the good guys, when in reality, neither of them are really the good guys. And the assassins will say, we're not the good guys. But no. So naturally, Lucy proves that she has a gift for deception. since she was able to hide her assassin's tie during her infiltration with Abstergo, and later her affiliation to the Templars from her assassin colleagues. Despite her true allegiance, she appeared to show genuine care and compassion to her team, and her regrets about Clay still haunted her to the end of her life. Her feelings toward Desmond were also implied to be genuine, to the point where Warden Vidic felt the need to tell her not to let them get in the way. And so here is just a little bit about her legacy in later games and later things. In 2015, the assassin team, including Sean and Rebecca, used a drone in London by the name of Lucy. In AC Rogue, Otto Berg, who is an assassin hunter, lists Lucy in a list of assassins who had defected from the order. When Desmond first gains access to Eagle Vision, Lucy was shown in blue, which confirms Desmond's belief that he could trust her, despite the later revelation that she was secretly a Templar. And so this is an interesting point because it shows the limitations of Eagle Vision, that it doesn't show you someone's true intentions. It shows you your perspective of their intentions on if they are hostile to you or not. And Desmond believes that Lucy isn't hostile to him. So she appears as not.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And this next point is super interesting to me. From sequences 6 to 8, Lucy is missing from the villa in AC Brotherhood. And no explanation is ever given.
Is there an explanation given like by the devs outside of the game?
Not that I saw. I looked, but I didn't see it. But there's no reason. So one can assume that she's contacting and speaking with Vidic during this time.
Right.
But I think that's an interesting touch that she is missing from the team from sequences 6 to 8. When they're all making this big deal of like, oh, we don't need to spend too much time above ground because the Templars will find us. And that's really all we got about Lucy.
We usually end our character deep dives by answering the question, why do we love or hate this character? Do you want to answer that?
Yeah. I'm kind of indifferent towards Lucy. I don't love or hate her. I think that she's a product of circumstance. I think that she's a product of the mistakes of a brotherhood led by someone who, in all honesty, might have no reason or no business leading an organization like the Assassins. And I think that she's a victim of Templar manipulation. So I understand her a little bit, but it's never been a thing about like, oh my gosh, I love Lucy. I was so sad when she died. Like, I just am medium about her. I don't hate or love her. I just think that she's a product of circumstance.
Yeah, I think I agree. And I guess I feel like at first I felt like, oh, well, I haven't finished Brotherhood. I haven't finished Revelations. I haven't finished all these games that she's in. But in reality, I think I would feel this way even if I had finished all the games. And I feel like I just don't know her. I feel like I don't know her well at all. And that's because she never really shares anything personal. Sean and Rebecca and Desmond, they all have personal moments, but I don't feel like Lucy ever really does.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think you're spot on with that kind of point and analysis, because Sean and Rebecca all kind of share like why they joined the Assassins or how they joined the Assassins. And Lucy never does that.
Right.
Right. And it's one of those things like we talk about in Dragon Age, how, you know, once we know what the secret is, we see the hints of dropping that secret early in the game, like especially with Black Wall and Soulless and Inquisition. Like, it's the same kind of thing. Like, once I know Lucy is a traitor, I start seeing the signs of it in the game that I missed earlier.
Mm-hmm. You see it everywhere.
Yeah. And that's one of them.
And she's very aloof.
Mm-hmm. And like her, you can now see, like, you first take her like determination, like, we need to move quickly, we need to find this apple, is like her like desperation to beat the Templars. But no, it's so she can get the apple.
Yeah.
But all in all, I'm just indifferent to her.
5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I think I agree. She's not a character that really stands out to me. Like, she's very mid, like you said. I don't dislike her. I wish she was more developed. Like, I think if we had known her more, like, we really got to know her, she like, and Desmond had a heart-to-heart one day, I feel like we would have totally different reactions and be like, wow, this is heartbreaking, you know?
Right. And like, this is before like we had, really fleshed out RPG elements or even character development elements in Assassin's Creed. And so because so much development was spent on the historical story, that the modern day was just kind of like an extra thing.
Yeah. Well, do you have other thoughts about Lucy before we wrap it up?
I do not.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. You can find us on Twitter at Assassin's Creed Lorecast, or you could talk to us on Discord in the Robots Radio Discord or our personal Discord server. Both links found in this episode's descriptions. Thank you for listening, and always stay to the shadows to serve the light, Assassins.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.
Want to live better?
We've got a lot of work to do.
Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live Better Now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live Better Now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.